Hey everyone, welcome back to my page. Today I'm not going to focus on hair. This video is actually about skin. I have been utilizing this particular product for about 2, maybe 3 months. I had saw an ad that a beauty care line that I typically follow, an all natural one, were selling a turmeric face scrub. So I was really intrigued, but unfortunately when I went to go place the order, they were all out of stock. So then I took to YouTube just to see like how would I make one at home by myself. And I found a lot of good videos, and basically it came down to my own trial and error because I do have a thing about texture and the consistency. Since I was like 12, I've been using Apricot's face scrub. So I'm really used to that one. But this particular one was focused on almond as the exfoliant. So I actually kind of put my own spin on this particular face scrub. I'm going to show you the ingredients. It's real simple. There's not too much. Right here is all you will need. Almond flour, I got this from Walmart, I believe. Turmeric, you want to make sure it's a good brand and it's natural. I got the organic all natural honeycomb. You really want raw honey for this. This is one of the things that I incorporated on my own, the sweet almond oil. Tea tree oil, you want to make sure it's a good brand. I got mine from our local Whole Food market called Green Street Market. And here is the vitamin E. I also got this from Green Street. You want to make sure it's topical and it's a good brand. You do not want anything that has mineral oil. That is no good for the skin. It clogs the pores. It is a nightmare. So I actually decided, again, all the videos that I had seen on YouTube really only used almond as the scrub agent, but I need more exfoliant. I really need to feel like my skin has been scrubbed clean. So I ordered my own dried apricot seed. I got this from Amazon from a really good provider. It does come in these funky little bags. So what I did was I got 2. I opened it and put it in my own container. I will leave the link for this because it was really good. I actually got the almond oil from the same provider. So what we are going to start with is the almond oil. I'm sorry, the almond flour. None of the videos that I actually watched when I was looking for the recipe for this or the ingredients gave me measurements. So I kind of go off of my own eye after making it a few times. So I'm just going to show you. Because I try to make fill this whole kind of thing with the scrub so that I have it for a while. I use it on my chest, my back, my body, everywhere. So this is about the amount of flour that I will be using. Again, that is almond flour. It is very important that you're not just using all-purpose flour because that will do no justice. All right, from there, you do not need to go crazy with the turmeric. This, as you can see, is bright orange, so if you use too much, you're going to make yourself look a little yellow. Now, granted, you could always wipe that off with witch hazel or something like that, but it kind of defeats the purpose of doing, you're putting those properties in and then you'd be taking them right back out by scrubbing or using an astringent afterwards. So I don't shake it in. I do take off the little cap with the holes. And I only use this much turmeric. It's I'd say like a tablespoon, no more. This isn't a tablespoon, but it does fill up a little past the edge. Now, if you choose to utilize the apricot scrub seed, you do want to be gentle with this, light with it, I mean, because it is very coarse. But again, that is what I prefer in a scrub. I really want to make sure that the dead skin cells, any buildup of makeup and things like that are being removed. So I utilize my own amount of here. Same with the turmeric. You don't want to go overboard. But I do use about 1.5 of these spoons so that I have enough to last me. Now, believe it or not, I'm going to be using the majority of this remaining honey because that creates the tackiness and the stickiness of it. It kind of keeps it together. You want to also go light with the almond oil if you choose to utilize this in the face mask. One time I made a batch that had a little too much of this and it just left that oily feel afterwards. Whereas if you don't put too much, you don't have that feeling and your skin feels nice and fresh and clean. So I will also pour it into the spoon to keep control. I literally use 1 spoonful. That's it. You don't need much more. All right, I'm gonna go into the honey next. If you have a honeycomb in there, you can kind of break that down. Mine has the honeycomb in it, so once you start breaking it apart, it actually kind of meshes with the rest of the honey. So I'm just pouring this in, scooping as much of it as I can get out. Let's see if I can get a better view of what I'm doing. There we go. Now, as far as tea tree oil goes, you do want to be careful with this as well. If you have really sensitive skin, you only want to use maybe 5 drops of this. If your skin can take a little more, you might want to use up to 10. I would not say any more than 10. My skin is so used to tea tree oil. I've used it for a really long time, so I always go for the 10, even though I do have kind of sensitive skin. And then when it comes to the vitamin E, this is kind of like an oil slash serum, so you don't need to be heavy with this. It's hard to kind of say with it. I just do just a couple drops. Vitamin E really helps with removing scars. The tea tree oil really helps with healing. So if you have any open sores, lesions, acne breakouts, that'll really calm that. The honey as well has a lot of vitamin E, and it is a very soothing ingredient. And almonds are fabulous for us. Even if you eat them, they have a lot of health benefits. But mainly, in this case, it kind of is utilized as the base, which is why I decided to go with a little bit more of almond oil to get more of the nutrients that come with almonds inside of the scrub. Okay, so this is close to the consistency that I like. However, it's a little thicker than I usually want, so I'm going to add just a little bit more almond oil. You really want to make sure it mixes well. The honey tends to clump up, so I like to dig through it and make sure I don't see any darkness or any little areas of extra lightness, because that kind of means the product was just clumped up. All right. I'm adding a little bit more, trying to get closer to the consistency that I like. But again, I did accidentally, one batch, put entirely too much oil into it. So if I don't like the consistency, I just go little by little, breaking it up. All right, so I'm gonna test it. And I'm not feeling the graininess that I like, so I'm gonna add a little more of this. Again, if you have really sensitive skin or if you're not used to using a scrub, you may not want that extra grainy feel. Me, I'm obsessed with it, so I've got to. All right. I'm gonna add a little bit of water now. Water is the last thing that I put in. Again, it's more so just about the consistency. Because we're utilizing honey in it, I don't want it to be so thick that when I go to use it after it's been sitting, that it's just super, super tight. So the water just keeps the moisture inside of the container, so it'll just chill out. Okay. So as you can see, it's stirring real easy now. This is the consistency that I like. Perfect. That's it. Now, as you can see, like I said, it is very yellow and it gets very messy. So either do this in the shower or make sure you have your hair tied back and you don't have any clothes on that you care about getting this yellow stuff on, because it is kind of staining. If you don't have your nails done and your nails are natural, you will see your nails be stained a bit. Turmeric is a very potent pigment. But I promise you, if you use this at least 3 times a week while you're healing your face or getting rid of scars, you're going to see a world of wonders. It's been unbelievable. I had this scar, this mark was so dark, I mean so dark, that I really thought that I was kind of screwed. I thought it was going to be there for a long time and it was going to take years for, you know, the dead skin to just peel away before it went away on its own, or worst case scenario, I have to spend my money to get a chemical peel to make it go away. But thanks to the turmeric face scrub, it is almost gone. And I've got these ones down here, these two, and that one. And again, they were all super dark to the point where I really thought that I damaged my skin. But thanks to this magic, it's going away. going away so quickly. I'm so happy that I stumbled across the ad for that company. Again, if for some reason after you've used it and you see that the results are really working for you and you don't want to have to deal with constantly making your own, look up Turmeric face scrub. Ancient Cosmetics is the one that I was going to buy. But again, unfortunately, they are out of stock. They are a popular brand. So, but me personally, I love do-it-yourself things. And this is quick and easy. I had almost all the ingredients when it came down time to really make it. The only thing I had to had to buy was stop by that Green Street Market and get the tea tree oil and vitamin E oil. After my first batch, that's when I came to the realization I wanted more of a scrub. So I went out and actually went on Amazon to get the dried apricot seed, the scrub pieces, and then the almond oil, mainly because I didn't want to I had to use a lot of the almond flour, but again, like once it's all grinded down, I just didn't feel like I was going to be getting as much nutrients. So I only added the almond oil for my own personal preference. You don't really have to use it, but again, like I said, it really helps with the consistency as well. So I much prefer it. So that is it for this video. I am considering making a video about my daily skincare routine, because as you can see, my skin is actually pretty clear. I don't really have breakouts. I'm really just working on imperfections and scars and marks right now. So I'm going to put up a video. I've gone through so many brands. I can't even begin to tell you how many brands I have used throughout my life, because I have the worst acne prone skin. I'm 33 years old, and I was told by my dermatologist when I was like 15, oh, as soon as you get into your 20s, don't worry about it, it's gonna be a thing of the past. No, I break out like I'm 13 still if I don't stick to my regular routine. So keep an eye out for that video. It should be up in about a week.